About a month after the review, I got a note one day here at school, an email actually, from my loan servicer, and it said, hey, guess what? We reviewed your loans and you don't owe any more money. And I read it and I thought, oh, this is a joke. You know, like you won the lottery, but you didn't really play. Hi, my name is Mary Crabtree, and I teach at Buckeye Junior High School in Medina County, Ohio, and I teach 7th grade English language arts. I got a bachelor's degree in 1983, and I left university without any debt. I grew up in Kansas and I went to university in Kansas. And then when I moved to Ohio, I didn't have a teaching job. And I really couldn't find a teaching job. I subbed for a couple of years, couldn't get a teaching job, and I thought if I went back to school, I would have a better chance of finding something. So I went to the University of Akron as a graduate assistant, but I was a single mom, and the salary there wasn't enough to support me and my 2 kids. So I took out a loan. And I didn't get a teaching job right away. I did teach preschool for a couple of years, and then I went to work for a nonprofit, a community action agency. I worked for Head Start. And I did that for the next 15 years. And if you know Head Start, you know they work with families in poverty, and so their wages aren't really high. And during that time, I worked on paying back my student loan that I got for my master's degree. But there were times where money was tight and I had to put my loan on forbearance, and it wasn't going down very fast. So then when I left there, I came here to Buckeye as technology resource coordinator for 4 years, and then teaching positions opened up, and I really wanted to teach again, but I had let my certificate lapse and I needed 15 hours to renew. So back to student loans again, and to get my 15 hours, which I did, and I got those 15 hours, but of course that upped my loan again, and of course put on hold my master's degree loan, and I collected interest on that while I was going back to school for that semester, and then started paying on that again when I started teaching. This is my 16th year teaching. I've been here at Buckeye 20, and so I've been paying on that. Well, about 5 years ago, I guess it was, or no, it's longer than that, 7 years ago, I decided that it's been a long dream of mine to have a PhD. So I went back to school to get a PhD. I did it in 4 years. I graduated 3 years ago in December, and I paid for as much as I could on my own, but I did have to take out some loans, so I just added that to my debt. What the heck? and then I joined all of those together under the public student loan forgiveness. And the way I did that was, the reason why I did that, I guess, is that our OFT rep at the time was Kim Luther, and she came and offered a seminar to us after school one day about the public student loan forgiveness program. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Maybe that'll work for me, and I won't be paying this debt until I die. So I jumped through all the hoops, consolidated my loans from my master's degree, my recertification, my PhD, and I joined the PSLF program, and I paid the interest, or I paid the loans based on my income as required, and I've just been in the program ever since. And of course I've been watching the program and all of the things that the politicians have done. And when the Biden administration came aboard, I was super hopeful that they would actually do something that might help me and all of my colleagues. And so when they announced that they were going to do some reviews of student loans in October of last year, I thought, well, okay, maybe they'll look at mine and maybe it'll help me. But maybe it won't. It's still okay. I have 7 more years. I can work 7 more years and then I can retire. And about a month after the review, I got a note one day here at school, an email actually, from my loan servicer, and it said, hey, guess what? We reviewed your loans and you don't owe any more money. And I read it and I thought, oh, this is a joke. Like you won the lottery, but you didn't really play. And I thought it was a joke. And I showed my co-teacher, and I were sitting beside each other, and the kids were working, and I said, look at this. What do you think this says? And she goes, I think it says you don't owe any more money on your student loan. And I said, you think it's a joke? No, it's not a joke. So she said, I don't know. So I waited until I had a break, and then I looked it up on my loan servicer website, and sure enough, it was real. It was almost $93,000 real, which was absolutely life-changing for me. My loan servicers looked back at my past 20 years and said, you've been paying debt all of these 20 years. So you've done your job. You've paid your service. You've done it. You've more than done 10 years. And so now you're done, you know. Even though some of the debt was a little more recent, I've more than paid off what I owed. It means that that huge burden of debt is lifted. And another thing it did was it inspired a lot of people here, my colleagues here, to relook at their student loan debt situations and make some steps to actually begin, get into the program or take a look at the program and see, are there things that they could or should do in order to take a look at their loans and see if they're eligible. So there were a lot of benefits from it. So you heard my story, and I think my story can be your story. For anybody who is thinking, I just don't know, maybe it won't apply to me, or I'm a brand new teacher and 10 years is a long time. Well, 10 years goes by really fast in the overall scheme of things. And so, I would just say, even if you don't know, if you're not sure, and with all the changes that are coming, I didn't know that this was going to happen to me. I thought I had 7 more years, and look what happened. So I would say it's worth your time to go to the website, to look it up, to talk to your union rep, to explore this.